Joined by Joel Grant and Charles Rich as the Operations Managers, Asia Pacific Region from the Duke of Edinburgh International Award Foundation, Selina Rahmat from Jakarta Nanyang School, and Saliza Sukaiman, the Training Regional Manager from Cambridge International. Before I start, I would like to give you some housekeeping information. We will record the session. Recordings will be sent to all of you after the webinar, and it's also available for all other schools who cannot attend this session. You can use the Q&A box to ask questions or to write a comment. So please use the Q&A box, not the chat box. The feedback link will be available after the session. A web browser will pop up automatically with the survey link. And no certificate will be issued for this webinar. So without further ado, I'd like to ask Joel and Charles to start their presentation now. So Joel and Charles, the time is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ibu Dian. First of all, on behalf of the Duke of Edinburgh's International Award Foundation, I'd like to say a warm welcome and thank you for all attending today's webinar. And also a very big thank you for Ibu Dian and Salisa from Cambridge International for inviting us today to talk about the Duke of Edinburgh's International Award and how in the context of the COVID-19 pandemic, how it's an essential tool for preparing young people for the new normal that we're all facing today. Before we start, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Joel Grant, and I'm the Operations Manager for the International Award Foundation. I'm based in Sydney, Australia. And I myself did the award when I was a young person in school in Australia. And I've been working with the foundation for over 6 years now, supporting the growth and development of the award in the Asia Pacific region. I'd now like to turn over the mic to my colleague Charles to introduce himself.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name's Charles Rich, and it's a pleasure to be joining you today. I'm also joining you from Australia, about 6 hours north of Sydney in the New England Highlands. I've been with the award for just over 2 years now, and I'm really looking forward to speaking with you all this afternoon. And I'll just hand it over to my colleague, Selina.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Selina. I'm the award coordinator from Jakarta Nanyang School. I have been coordinating the program since last September, so 1 year. Thank you.
Thank you both. So let's get started, shall we? So today we're going to be, first of all, I'm going to be talking to you about what the Duke of Edinburgh's International Award is and how it can impact the young people within your organizations. Following that, my colleague Charles will be discussing the award in the context of the COVID-19 pandemic and showing examples of how young people around the world have overcome the challenges of lockdown, restrictions, to continue progressing their development despite the schools being closed. And finally, Selina will be presenting a fantastic case study from her school, Jakarta Nanyang School, to show how the award has impacted her young people there and the communities around them. So first of all, I just want to highlight to you all that the award is truly a global family. Today, there are 1.3 million participants, young people around the world in over 130 countries and territories participating in the award. Now, what this means is the award is a global framework for development of young people, and that it provides international accreditation for young people that's recognized in all 130 of these countries. So if your school or organization wishes to join the award family, you'll be joining a truly global family. And I just want to highlight that in the context of the COVID-19 pandemic, it has really shown us how the award can bring everyone together. And I think this webinar today with people dialing in from all over the region is a perfect example of how it can bring everyone together, and we are united by a global challenge, and together we can overcome this challenge to see our young people continue to develop. So what is the award? So just as a brief overview, the award is the world's leading youth achievement award. It's unique, and it's available to all young people aged 14 to 24. Which is a very important age for young people as they transition from adolescence to adulthood. They need this structure to help them progress into the new normal. The award is non-formal education. And what this means, it complements the formal education and the curriculum that young people learn at school. But we at the award are firm believers that not all learning happens in the classroom. And I think in today's context, that's more important than ever. As schools remain closed in many countries and restrictions remain in place, it's very important for us to ensure that young people can continue their development through non-formal education outside of the classroom. Finally, the award is a flexible and fun framework. And what this means is that participants, young people, are able to choose activities based on their own interests and their own skills, and they set their own goals to progress towards them individually. To truly understand the award, it's really important for us to talk about the 10 guiding principles which were established, believe it or not, in 1956 when the award was founded by His Royal Highness, the Duke of Edinburgh, Kurt Hahn, a leading German educationalist, and Sir Lord Hunt, who was on the first expedition to the top of Mount Everest. So these are our 10 guiding principles and really inform the way of what the award is. So number one, the award is individual. And what that means is young people pick their activities and their goals based on their individual skills and preferences. So when I showed you the map earlier that showed 1.3 million young people doing the award, what that means is there's 1.3 million unique award journeys happening at any given time around the world. Number two, the award needs to be achievable. We encourage young people to set goals and achieve these goals, and we believe that's very important for the development of young people, which leads on to number three, development. The award is about young people's development. We want to see young people developing new skills, developing their existing skills and interests through the award. Number four is inspiration. Now, what this means is the award needs to be an inspiration, not just to the young people participating themselves, but also to their communities around them. Number five, the award is progressive. And I'll show you in the next slide, there are 3 levels to the award. And as young people progress through those levels, the level of challenge also increases for them as well. Number 6, the award is non-competitive. Now, this is very important as it allows any young person to participate in the award, regardless of their background or circumstances. By participating in the award, young people are not competing with their peers or any other people around the world. They are competing with themselves. So they set goals based on their current ability and show us how they develop that ability to achieve their goals. Number 7, the award is voluntary. So it's very important that young people choose to do the award. We can't force young people into the award, but young people can be encouraged to do the award, and it should be voluntary. Number 8 is the award needs to be balanced. And I'll show you in the next slide about the different sections of the award. But in the non-formal development of young people, we need to make sure that they choose a range of activities through the different sections to encourage a balanced development of that young person. Number 9 is persistence. So we say at the award's not a race to the finish line, it's a marathon. And what we really want to see in young people is their persistence and in setting those goals and working towards those goals. And finally, most importantly, the award needs to be enjoyable. It's got to be fun for the young people. If it's not fun, it's simple, they won't do it. So these are our 10 guiding principles, which really lay the foundation of what the award is. There are 3 levels to the award. This is bronze for young people aged 14 years or over, silver for young people aged 15 years and over, and gold for young people aged 16 years and over. In the award, we have 5 sections. The first 4 sections on the screen, voluntary service, physical recreation, skills, and adventurous journey, are for all 3 levels of the award. And for the gold level, there's an additional requirement, which is called the Gold Residential Project. We believe that this provides the balanced, holistic development of young people. In the voluntary service section, participants volunteer in their communities to make a positive contribution to society and demonstrate their social responsibility. And developing that empathy and that moral obligation for young people is very important for their development. In the physical recreation section, we encourage young people to improve their fitness and performance and enjoy healthy lifestyles for good mental and physical well-being. And you'll hear some fantastic examples from Selena, how her students have actually been encouraged to participate in physical recreation through the award. In the skills sections, we enable participants to develop talents, broaden their abilities, increase their self-confidence, and improve their employability. And in the Adventurous Journey section, young people can discover a spirit of adventure and gain a deeper understanding of the environment and the great outdoors. And finally, for the Gold Residential Project, which is only for the Gold level, participants broaden their experience by staying in an unfamiliar environment with other young people, taking part in a worthwhile project and building new relationships. In conjunction with the University of Surrey, the International Award Foundation and the research team there have conducted extensive research to try to find out what the tangible impacts and what the outcomes for young people and the communities around them are. And these are the 10, through conducting surveys before and after a young person undertakes their award, these are the 10 outcomes that we found develops in young people, which is building confidence, managing feelings, resilience and determination, relationships and leadership, creativity and adaptability, planning and problem solving, civic competence, intercultural competence, personal and social well-being, and communication. Now, I'm sure as educators, you'd all agree that in this day and age, prospective employers, prospective universities are more and more looking towards these universal soft skills, they're sometimes referred to, more so or as equally to their formal education and their final grades. In terms of the communities around them, the award has also a huge social impact, and it's proven to improve engagement with charitable and community causes, increased environmental impact, reduced offending for young offenders, improved physical health and fitness, improved mental health and emotional well-being, improved employability and earning potential of young people, and improved social cohesion, as we are a global family. Next, I'm going to show you a video that has testimonies from employers and educators from around the world of how the award impacts young people.
Education isn't just about learning in the classroom, it's a combination of support, building relationships, teamwork, trust.
What's really important is an education that provides kind of physical activities, challenging mental activities, challenging social activities, learning to work in groups.
Which will encourage you as an individual, whatever you want to achieve in your life, anything is possible.
There's so much more to actually creating a person that's world ready to take on the challenges that we face.
And when I look at the Duke of Edinburgh Awards, that is happening all across the board.
I think that's what it kind of teaches you, how to go about navigating life.
I have achieved the Duke of Edinburgh Award. That tells me so much about a person.
It develops leadership. It helps you develop skills around perseverance in persisting through difficulties.
It brings some confidence out in these people, and they do seem to stand out from the rest, in my view.
It tells you that classroom is important, but what you do outside classroom is equally important.
And that's how people thrive in the workforce, and as adults.
Definitely my favourite part about the award is just how dynamic it is, how you can really cater the award to what you want to do.
I think the most important skills and value that I gain from the award is communication, leadership, and planning.
When I'm employing somebody, I'm not just looking for I can do A, B, C, D. I want to get the full picture. The Duke of Edinburgh Award is an amazingly important part of that because I want to look around a person.
When I look at hiring new talent into the business, what you look for is those qualities, those capabilities that will set a young person apart.
It is more about your personality and to show that you got the potential to do better job and have a good career path.
Everybody that comes and knocks at my door, they're out there, they're amazing, their CVs look fantastic. But then what is that extra thing that actually gets them through the door with me?
I know that when I'm interviewing candidates and I see on the CV they have a President's Award, that they will stand out in my company.
The award
puts you in situations that you learn to overcome.
We also can let them to solve the problem by themselves rather than giving them an answer.
It was from overcoming small challenges during my award that my confidence grew.
If you want prospective employers to see a chink of difference, try the award.
I think what the award does is make sure that young adults have the skills that they need to thrive in the 21st century.
Okay, now I'd like to hand over to the stage to Charles to talk about the award during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Thanks, Joel. Okay, so now I'd like to talk to you specifically about doing the award in the context of the COVID-19 pandemic. And I'd like to acknowledge that you're joining us from many different parts around the region, and there's still some real challenges that lie ahead of us, depending on what level the outbreak is at where you are and what restrictions may still be in place. Many societies are now facing a second wave of COVID-19 and are reimposing restrictions or may soon be doing so. So we want to stress the importance of the health and safety of all participants and award leaders at this time. And it's paramount that you please follow the advice of trusted local health guidelines when considering how to continue the award where you are. On a more positive note, I believe we are now presented with a great opportunity for the award to continue to inspire young people to reach their full potential, and for us as adults to celebrate their achievements. As you all know, the pandemic has brought about a new reality and a new normal that we must all adapt to. Many young people have had their school years cut short and extracurricular activities have been curtailed. They've had to adapt to learning online and remotely, and often in isolating situations. And sadly, many major life events for young people at this time will be missed. And it's important, and because of this is why we believe it's so important that we have the award. And it's more important now than ever before, because it can be used as a tool to provide young people with the structure, stability, and regularity that they so need in these uncertain times. The award is a way for you as educators to help young people to dream big and challenge themselves and provide them with an opportunity to make a difference in their world. As always, the award remains flexible and it's purpose-built to be done easily while in isolation or while learning remotely. And as Joel talked about earlier with the guiding principles, the award activities are designed by the individual, the young people themselves. So young people can take whatever they're interested in and come up with activities that are going to be available to them and suitable to do in any sort of situation. And the other principle that Joel mentioned, the second one, being achievable. So the activities must be achievable as well. So activities can be modified or changed to ensure they remain achievable even as circumstances may change due to COVID-19. The award framework is all about enabling young people to focus on their passions and is adaptable enough to be done from anywhere around the world, regardless of background or restrictions imposed by COVID-19. We believe young people need a framework to stay engaged while schools remain closed. And as the quote from Olivia, a participant in Australia, illustrates, the award is a great way for young people to do something that they enjoy and take their minds off the things that are stressing them out right now, while still staying busy with a productive activity. So, what does the award look like in the context of COVID-19? And how can we help young people continue their award at this time? As award leaders, it's important that we remind and encourage participants that they may need to change activities when in lockdown and how to think about doing their activities remotely in isolation or from at home. As you'll see in a few minutes, we have plenty of examples of how this can be done. And even if schools are closed, young people will still be able to record activities, their progress in their activities from anywhere using the online record book. So for those of you that are new to the award, the online record book is an all-in-one digital platform that allows participants to set up their activities and goals, log their progress and upload progress evidence, such as videos and photos, And you as award leaders will be able to approve participants' activities, monitor progress, be informed when participants have completed each section of their award at any time with just the click of a button. All you'll need is a PC or mobile device with an internet connection. And just like before the pandemic, participants should be maintaining regular contact with their award leader to let them know how they're progressing. The technology of today, of course, makes this easier now than ever before. As you can see with the photo on the right side, where some Malaysian award participants are having a video call with their award leader. And as I mentioned earlier, changing activities is okay. Of course, we may need to do that as circumstances change due to COVID-19. We know that this is the reality. So we want to encourage young people to be creative and think about how they can modify their activities to continue their activities, even as circumstances around them may be uncertain and changing. And this can be done very easily in consultation with you as the award leader and by making some simple amendments on the online record book. Now we'll go to the next slide and just look at some examples of doing the award from home when limited by COVID-19. Physical recreation. So of course now it's more important than ever before that young people find ways to keep fit, to stay active and healthy as a way to look after their physical health and their mental well-being as well. Of course, during the pandemic, young people are spending more and more time at home and more time behind computer and TV screens. So the award is a perfect way to encourage young people to stay active and stay connected as well with their friends doing physical activities, even while in isolation. So let's look at some examples. The first picture on the left, we see Taj from Bermuda, who's following along to a home workout routine on YouTube. This is a fantastic activity, as you can see, that only requires a limited amount of space and can be done anywhere in the world in any type of accommodation. As I mentioned, it's also about staying socially connected too. In the next photo, we see Taj is working out with his friends via a Zoom call. So that's a great way to not only progress your physical activity goals, but a way to hang out and stay connected to your friends while staying at home. And this could be done for a whole host of different sports and physical activities, including high intensity training, home workouts as Taj is doing, Pilates, yoga, dance, martial arts. There's really limitless possibilities. The final picture on the right, we have Olivia from Australia, who's been able to continue with her kickboxing activity, which this is something she originally chose before COVID-19. And she was fortunate enough to have the equipment and an outdoor space for her to continue her goal at home with only minimal changes to the activity. Moving on to the skills section. This is one of my favorite sections of the award to be done in isolation because the number of activities you can do is nearly limitless. The same principles apply as before with the pandemic. Participants can choose any activity they like. It's up to the individual, as long as it teaches them a new skill and allows them to improve on it or allows them to improve on an existing skill. Some of the ideas which participants have come up with in response to COVID-19 include learning an instrument like Josh from Australia, who's practicing his cello. We have Keegan from Trinidad and Tobago, who's challenging his cognitive abilities by taking up Rubik's Cube. And we have Leah in the bottom photo, a silver participant from the Philippines, who's continued her interest in makeup artistry and sharing her talents by making online tutorial videos. And of course, nowadays, it's very easy to use apps and websites to learn a number of new skills, from learning a language, cooking, coding, and app design and website design, gardening. Really, as I said, the options are limitless. In the top middle photo, we see an example of Olivia from Australia again, who's been learning sign language online. There's really too many skills and activities to list here, and a participant is already likely undertaking an activity that's only going to require minimal changes in order to continue with their original choice. For example, if a young person usually takes music lessons in person, why not do it online via video lessons or video conferencing with their instructors? Similarly, with photography, a young person could continue taking photos and documenting the area around them while learning different photographic techniques and editing skills from home. There's really just so many options that you can do when learning a new skill at home. Next slide, we're going to look at voluntary service section. So this is one of the more difficult sections possibly to do at home if participants are sticking to those traditional activities that we've seen young people doing in the past before the pandemic. However, we've seen a lot of really creative initiatives come about since the pandemic started. With very simple changes to activities and a little creativity, young people are finding all sorts of alternative ways that they can still give their time and service to support a cause and help others in their community around them. Many participants have undertaken activities and projects to raise awareness about the pandemic and to teach others about good hygiene and keeping healthy amid the pandemic. Participants could do things such as creating instructional videos for social media and producing flyers that could be distributed locally in their community to raise awareness about the pandemic. In the first photo on the left, we see an example of Justine from the Philippines, who's volunteering with a local hand sanitizer producer. So she's preparing small bottles of hand sanitizer that can be distributed to local people in her community, vulnerable people that might not be able to get out and purchase their own hand sanitizer. We've seen lots of examples of participants preparing food and hygiene packages for people in need in their community, like the photo on the right side on the top. That's a group of young participants in Malaysia that are distributing care packages in their local community. There's also a number of non-COVID specific activities that can be considered. Perhaps participants were originally mentoring or tutoring other students, and they can consider how this activity can be continued at home virtually through online platforms and video calls. So the second photo from the left, we see a picture of Sherry from China, who was providing ballet lessons to a younger student via video, but now she's doing this online using video conferencing calls. And this can be done, of course, for a range of activities and services that young people can provide to others, everything from tutoring in a new language, tutoring math and sciences, coaching sports and fitness, and music lessons, to just name a few examples. So I hope this has helped open your mind and your creativity to how participants can continue and easily continue the award from home. And these are just a few examples. Now I want to hand it over to my colleague Selena from Jakarta Nanyang School, who's going to illustrate the types of skills and outcomes that she's seen firsthand her young people achieve through doing the award. And she'll also provide a few more practical examples of how the award is done from anywhere. Over to you, Selena.
Okay, thank you, Charles. Okay, hi everyone. So I would like to start by sharing the activities in experiential learning that we have in our Jakarta Nanyang School. We have several such as internship. So in the middle photo here, you can see a student doing internship from home. And we also certainly have student council. And we also have virtual after school activity program. Now, this is quite unique because actually we also have the Duke of Edinburgh International Award, but this program here that we have already at school can actually not competing with the Duke of Edinburgh, but actually it's like completing each other. So you will see later how students doing the Duke of Edinburgh International Award program, but at the same time, he helps to volunteer for the virtual after school activity program that we have at school. And then on the right side here, you can see the online house campaign there to spread positivity. So not only this one online house campaign, but we can also have it from the Duke of Edinburgh International Award. So currently at our school, we have about 120 young people, 14 years and above, and around 40 of them join the Duke of Edinburgh International Program. Okay, next. So I would like to start sharing about our students' activity here. So if you still remember from Joel's slide, Joel have shared like the impact that is given from the program. So this is, I just want to share that what I have seen from the students with their journey in a year. And this is Billy. He participates actively in voluntary service. So Billy in the photo on the right side wearing black t-shirt. So Billy organizes quite a lot of charity events prior to the COVID. And according to Billy, this is what he has learned, that the DOE has changed his life because previously he was not confident to start conversation with the people that he didn't know, but now he's more comfortable doing it because he has been organizing several charity events and still active now doing the DOE program. And he also learned to be democratic or autocratic in making decisions when he is chosen to be a leader in the group. Okay, next. Here, this is a good story of Ashley. I remember that in one of the slides, it has been mentioned that we don't give solution for the students, but the students need to find their own solution to solve their problem. And this is really true. Ashley has a dream actually to have her own business. So for her skill, she started a burger business, which is very good. And she has certainly in each and every business there are problems, but the very good thing from the Duke of Edinburgh International Award here, because when students want to start with an activity, they are asked to create a goal that they really want to achieve, and it's really a personal goal that they set by themselves. So Ashley also here, she set a goal, and when she had problem in the business, then she told me that all that she can think is I just have to reach the SMART goal, because she has put that goal in the log. So she tried her best to solve the problem, and which is good. So she can solve the problem, and she has reached the goal actually. Next. Okay, so next one is about creativity and adaptability. So we can see that not all students can adapt quickly. Some slower, but some are very fast in adapting to the situation, and some of them even can be very creative. So here, Olivia, she did fencing at school before the COVID time, but now she continued at home doing and playing basketball at home. So she is very creative to adapt and play basketball at home. Okay, next. Now, from creativity point of view also, these two young men, they decided to have, I might say that it's quite unique, because one decided to train the puppy, and the second, Taihun here, he learned magic tricks, and he actually shared it with us during the Duke of Edinburgh International Award weekly meeting, because we have weekly meeting at our school. Next. Oh, now this one is about resilience and determination. As I said, that some students, they can adopt very fast, but some quite slow. For some of our students at school, we actually wonder how they can very quickly adopt, and not only adapting for their own online studies in April 2020, but they also remain active to support the safety of Indonesian medical teams, because they joined one student organization, TINCOV 19, where these students, these young people, they make face shields by themselves, that as you can see in the photos there, they make face shields and then they distribute it to clinics, especially those are which are in the remote area in Indonesia. Next, you will see also in the slide here another student from our school making face shield, And on the left side here, because the Teen COVID-19, they get sponsored from many companies and foundations. So here, this is one example when they send 100, more than 100 facial to Puskesmas. There is a small clinic in Kepulauan Seribu Utara, and this is sponsored by Medco Foundation. So our students are busy actually starting April doing facials and helping the medical teams. Next. And this also, Cleo. Cleo is actually a quiet student, and up to now, I don't have idea why she decided and how she learned to make the mask. And up to now, since May, she has been making and donating masks, and she is now going to continue with her silver, and probably she can also help others and teach others how to make the mask. Next. Now, this is one of the students that I previously mentioned. We have virtual after school activities. So one of our students here, he actually combined this activity and he volunteered to share the Korean culture on a weekly basis for our Gen Y students. So this one example is when he shared about the Korean fashion. I actually attended the virtual after school activities and I enjoyed very much. I'm still waiting for the next topics that he is going to share. Next. Okay, now this is something that I'm very happy and proud to share, because if you look at the picture first, not by reading it first, you can see the pictures here, the photos that I set in April 20, they are small photos, June 2020 getting bigger, and August 20, it's really a big one. Why did I do so? Because actually I want to share with you Jessica's and Jennifer's journey when they first started their small project actually in April 20, when they actually plan to raise only 10 million to help with the COVID to be donated. But then end up they have raised more than 10 million. And then after 2 months, their confidence here keep increasing that they extended the program, but now they shift the focus to orang utan, because actually it's something that it's very good that they found out that orang utan and other endangered animals actually actually suffered also in this pandemic situation. So they managed to raise funds by selling their art online, and they donate and they can adopt this cute orangutan here. And their journey, it's not only up to there, because starting August, they have even bigger dream and bigger confidence to now work with more students and even partnering with WWF, the Borneo Orang Utan Society Foundation, and including our own school. So in September, they were invited to become speaker in a webinar, and their confidence really very significant that they actually can ask other people to join their movement. So I think this really a journey that started in April 2020, but I think it's really, I can only say only the starting point, because certainly there is no limit for whatever they can do with their confidence here. Okay, next. This is also a slide that reminds me of not very long ago. It was in January. So we have started the program last year, and then also in January we share some presentation for all the young people at our school. And at that time, I still remember that it's still very uneasy for us to find the photos of our participants. So I need to take like from the website, like students working like this, and then students doing this, to put like example of this skill. But honestly, those students I'm not connected with. I don't know their stories. I don't even know their names sometimes. But now I'm so proud that after a year, I can share with you this very similar photo of our students, but I can put their names, and I'm very proud and happy that I can share um, with all of you their journey here. And I also experience their journey from the bronze up to now. Some of them, most of them, they are working on their silver already. So the skill here, these are all the skills that can be done at home. Justin with his coffee, and Karen drawing, Nicole online courses, and Natania continues her piano lesson. Okay, next. Now, this is one quote that I like a lot from John D. Rockefeller Jr. It stated that I believe that every right implies a responsibility. Now, these students in the photo here either choosing badminton, jogging, baking, cooking, drawing, the magic trick that you have seen. But all these students, they actually choose their activities. They learn by themselves. They make their own schedule, like when they want to do their activities, and they really independently doing it. So they are given the rights to decide in this program. And it's very unique that when students are given the rights, they they really learn to be responsible on their decision. So whatever they have chosen, it's not that like we as educator we have to keep reminding them, but mostly they have like the idea, they have made their decision, so they are responsible for their decision. Okay, next. And also in the slides, in the previous slide, you see that it's mentioned about the personal and social well-being. So this is something that I personally didn't expect when we started the Duke of Edinburgh program last year in our school. But we all started as award leaders, like we volunteer to help the students, to guide them. Um, and we hope that we can make meaningful contribution to the students on something that we can control the situation, meaning that we are happy to lead them and we are happy to support them. But then now we can see the outcome, like as I have shared with you, so many of our students actually giving back us their enthusiasm. So it like push us mm, to become so positive, and we can see that we are all connected with not only with the students but also with the organization that they have, like we are connected also to WWF, and soon we are going to have an online training, an online seminar that is conducted and arranged by the Art for COVID from Jessica and Jennifer. And that's why I draw it like a circle going around from award leaders to participant, participant giving back to the award leaders. But at the same time, it's not only my personal opinion, because I talk to many award leaders and participants, and they have the same experience, that they feel all this positive energy is like spread and shared to the people around us also. So it's something that is beyond my personal expectation when I started this in 2019. Okay, next. Okay, so now we have seen from participants' point of view, we also have seen from us award leaders' point of view. But how about from parents' point of view? I have talked, I have communicated with some of the parents, and I can see that they all start from the same point, that honestly, they didn't expect much from the beginning. So at the beginning, they just feel like, okay, this is just another school activity. This is just another school program. This is just something that their children want to do. So it's just like a normal, a very common activity. But as time went by, all of them realized that this is really much, much bigger than when their child started the program. So like, for example, here in Somin's situation here, her parents comment that she developed a self-reliant spirit and she even volunteers for peer tutoring. So during the online courses, so Somin has to switch her voluntary service, and it took like quite some time. She was unsure like what to do, but then she decided that she is going to do the peer tutoring online, and that is very good actually, because that also revealed her ability, because she is actually a very good tutor that will not come to be revealed if like she didn't start to do the peer tutoring. So it's an extra something bonus for Somin. Next. And this is also from Jessica and Jennifer's parents, the one who now founded and organized the Art for COVID. Is actually not only for the students, according to the parent, that this Duke of Edinburgh program also make her proud as a parent, because she can see that her twin daughters actively contribute to community and also keep contributing and keep increasing their confidence to give back to society. So this is very good. And also one more parent shared with me that the daughter now seems to be more eager to accept challenge and is more willing to learn new skills. So there are actually quite a lot of good things that parents shared with me, but then we will end this meeting for 2-3 hours later. So next. Okay, thanks. So why the Duke of Edinburgh's International Award? In this slide, I would like to share some technical things that I experienced with the DOE itself. So the first thing is the system, because we understand that Duke of Edinburgh International Award has a very developed system. So when we join the program, we really are guided like what to do, how to do it, and they have the handbook for the award leaders, and also the team are very helpful and supporting. And also it has been mentioned that the Duke of Edinburgh International Award, they have one online record book, and this online record book is very useful, especially now, like as long as we have laptop, we have mobile phone, we are connected, then this participant can log their activities in the online record book. And also award leaders, we can simply check their activities, their progress by looking at the online record book. And as an award coordinator, it's also easy for me because there are informations and data available there. And for a teacher with a background of being a consultant, I really love this online record book because it provides me data, and this data can be used for me to analyze our current situation and to make a plan in the future. So that's from the system and the online book. And the last part here, this is last but really not a least part here, because the Duke of Edinburgh International Award, it covers 4 sections that has been explained before. We as educators certainly believe that holistic education is very important for students. but honestly speaking, that sometimes I personally have like a problem like how to make students all rounded. But this Duke of Edinburgh International Award is actually a very good way, because we have seen many students in our school that let's say if they are good in voluntary, so they are okay to do voluntary service, they are okay to have new skills, but it happens that these students they really don't like to have physical activity. And I really love the section in the Duke of Edinburgh International Award, because they put the name so friendly, physical recreation. Because for students who don't like to do sports, then we can like make it very light, that it's not sport at all, it's just physical recreation. As long as you do something, you're physically active. And yeah, by starting small, the students tend to like it. And well, I can show you later that there are some students who started not liking physical recreation, but now they encourage me to join them to do YouTube exercise also. And also there are some students who like sports. They are okay to add skills to learn new things, but it's not something very common for them to do voluntary service. So they need to go and ask the award leaders several times, quite many times, honestly, like what to do in voluntary service. But now it seems like during this COVID time, they are now even they are busy with their own voluntary service, then they don't really need much guidance from us, the award leaders. Next. Okay, so this is the latest update from our school about the students who have now continued from bronze to silver award. The students themselves told me that actually it's easier for them to decide to continue from bronze to silver than thinking whether or not to join in the bronze award. The reason is because now the students, after doing the bronze award, they tend to have the habit to have the activities. So like Olivia here, and also there are many other students that they like to do at home, the workout, exercise, various type of exercise that they follow the YouTube, but they already have that habit. So mostly they told me that it's easy for them to continue from bronze to silver, because anyway they are doing the activities at home. And this is really aligned with the research journal, which mentioned that to build habit takes time. So usually the timing is for 2 to 3 months. And if we compare it to the bronze award, the bronze award actually requires students to do the activity for 3 months. And that 3 months is actually have uh, made students to have to build habit. So it's a very good point that if students can start from bronze, then 3 months, meaning they have new habit, including to do the physical recreation, or to try baking, cooking, or to try to learn new songs. Okay, next. So this is the last slide that I would like to share with you. So these are 8 of our 11 committed award leaders here. All of us volunteered to join the award leaders team at our school. And this photo was taken last November when we had the training. So we started the program in September, but we have to wait until November before we can join the training. And as far as I know, there will be a training also online coming soon. We still have the classroom training, but now there is only online training. But I think it's still the same. I don't know, Joel. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Selena, for sharing those wonderful stories from your school. And congratulations to you and your committed award leaders and your team there at Jakarta Nanyang School for continuing to encourage and inspire your young people. And more importantly, inspiring us all today in the audience. I hope Selena's story has helped inspire you to want to also be committed award leaders and see the development of your young people at your schools. Before we close and open up the floor to questions, I just want to leave you all with one final video, which is a message from our chairman of our trustees, His Royal Highness.
There have been some inspirational. Through all the challenges of COVID-19, there have been some inspirational examples of imagination, ingenuity and fortitude, of humanity at its very best, adapting to changing circumstances and responding to the needs of others, especially the vulnerable and isolated. Young people around the world have also been rising to the challenge, especially where a spirit of volunteering and public service has been nurtured through activities encouraged by involvement in the Duke of Edinburgh's International Award. Many more young people, supported by parents, mentors and adult volunteers, have been striving to accomplish their award in spite of the conditions imposed by COVID-19, demonstrating remarkable determination and resourcefulness. Those countries which have invested in digital tools and technology are at the forefront of navigating change and helping young people to remain active and engaged in their award. Yet we are talking about a very small number of young people. For the vast majority, access to non-formal education and learning experiences has been all but negligible. As countries and communities come to terms with a new normal, young people in particular face exceptional change and uncertainty. Having reset so much in our lives during this pandemic, as we move forward, the biggest challenge we all face is trying not to leave anyone behind. This is a simple, heartfelt plea to ensure that young people are not left to fend for themselves. They can be strong. They can be more than capable if we all play our part in helping them to fulfill their potential. Young people can and do rise to a challenge. If given the opportunity, they will discover there is more in them than they think. With the necessary skills and experiences, they will become resilient, adaptable, ready for change, ready for our new normal. Please, help more young people access great non-formal education, achieve their Duke of Edinburgh's International Award, and be the young leaders of the future.
Right, so thank you so much, Joel, Charles, and Selena for the great presentation. And then I think that we still have time for the Q&A session for about like 5 minutes, if you don't mind. So some of the questions have been asked earlier when the attendees registering for the webinar. So the questions are, what is the age group that can apply for this award and what are the requirements? I believe this have been covered in the presentation earlier, but perhaps there is anything you would like to add, Joel or Charles?
No, so the age requirements, as I mentioned earlier, between the ages of 14 and 24. And what that means is young people have until their 25th birthday to finish their award. In terms of the requirements, the time requirements in the bronze level, it's a minimum of 6 months. For the silver level, it's a minimum of 12 months. And for the gold level, it's a minimum of 18 months. And what this means is young people need to dedicate 1 hour per week for each of the sections, physical, skill, and service, an average of 1 hour per week in each of those sections.
All right, thank you. Next question, please, Saliza.
Sure. Thank you, Diane. There is a comment or feedback on the Q&A box. We are from Gagandip Singh. So they have applied many times for this award through the Cambridge website, but have not received an email response back. Any information to help me with this process will be highly appreciated.
Absolutely. Yep. So if your school or organization is based in Indonesia, there's the email operations@interwardindonesia.org. If you're based outside of Indonesia and any other countries in Southeast Asia or Pacific, please contact us at operations@interward.org. So we'll also be sharing these contacts in after the webinar as well for you to get in contact with us.
Great, thank you, Joel. The next question is about the guidelines for the award and where can they apply for the process. So I believe that they can send the email to the contact list provided in the email sent to them after this webinar. Is that right?
That's right.
All right, okay. Next question, please, Saliza.
Yes, there are a couple questions around fees for this award, and if there is a list where they can refer to, maybe on the website or through email.
Absolutely. Please contact us by email because it will depend on the country in which you're based. So please get in contact with your relevant operations manager as per the emails on the screen.
All right, so I think that this is the last question, that those Malaysian students are working as a team, but the application is still for each of them. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. So each of them have their own individual goal, but as part of that goal, they can be working as a team to do so as well. So yeah, it's fine to work as a group or individually in those sections of the award.
Sorry, just one last question before we end the session. From Erwin, all those joining the awards, do they need to join all the 5 sections of the awards?
Good question. So for the bronze and silver level, they need to complete 4 sections, which is the physical recreation, the skills, the service, and the adventurous journey. For the gold level, so for 16 years and above, they have to do those 4 sections plus the gold residential section. So to answer your question, yes, they need to do all the sections, but the gold residential project section is only for the gold level as well.
Thank you, Joel. There are a couple more questions. I think that, yeah, we're still good in timing. Who are the award leaders? Are they from the schools joining? And is there any training for teachers before conducting the program?
Great question. So yes, so the award leaders are teachers from the school typically. So these are teachers who are passionate about non-formal education. And as Selena mentioned in her presentation, we conduct award leader training for them. So previously in Selena's picture, it was face-to-face training, but because of the pandemic, we're now facilitating all these trainings online to be accessible by anywhere. So if you want to find out more about the trainings in your country, please again, send us an email and we'll direct you to the correct website for that.
Yes, thank you so much again, Joel, Charles, and Selena for the very wonderful presentation. And then thank you everyone for participating in this webinar. I hope that we can all be inspired by the stories that shared in the journey of the Duke of Edinburgh International Award. And then I would like to end this session by quoting what is mentioned in the video, that the classroom learning is important, but then what is outside the classroom is actually equally important. So that's a very great quote. And then again, thank you so much. We are going to send you the recordings after the webinar. And then we will also send you the contact details that you can contact if you're interested in learning more about this award. And another thing is, I also would like to highlight that we also have the Duke of Edinburgh International Award section in our website. You can take a look at it in the Cambridge Public website. Again, thank you so much for your time. Stay safe and stay healthy, everyone. So goodbye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay, thank you. Bye.